Is the news true about Peter Obi?
It is finally official. Peter Obi has defected to ADC. It's a welcome development, and I think everyone has been waiting to hear this and to see this happen. Just on the last day of 2025, Peter Obi officially declared that he will be running for the presidential election under the ADC party. Is what we all have been expecting. And let's go and see when he made his declaration, what the reaction was and how it was being accepted by people. So we'll be looking at this tweet from Arise News. It says, "We urge INEC to adhere strictly to all electoral rules in the forthcoming election, beginning with educational qualification. Nigerians should not be questioning whether a candidate attends school." Former Governor of Anambra State and presidential candidate Peter Obi. So let's see when Peter Obi declared the reaction and how it was accepted.
Start by just recognizing some of our distinguished leaders that are here. I have to recognize the party chairman, our own dear senior brother, distinguished Senator David Ma. Recognize the chairman of our education and our dear father, Chief Simon Okeke, and all the elders that are here, because all the ex-governors here, apart from maybe my junior brother Emeka, and all my seniors, let me say on all protocols very respectfully and duly observed. It's true, there's two juniors there. So let me recognize all of them and set all protocols very duly observed. Today is an important day. Today is the last day of 2025. So we are ending this year with a hope that in 2026 we will begin a journey of rescue of our country. For proper socio-economic development that will be unifying and inclusive. We have all watched those who benefited from our democracy sometimes now become accessories to destroying our democracy, either through coercion and gangsterism against the opposition. We cannot allow this to happen. We will resist it. We've now seen people who benefited in our democracy be part of celebrating electoral fraud publicly. And we are saying that those who are planning to rig an election in Nigeria come 2027, we will resist it by every means lawful and legitimate.
You know, guys, that's the reason why you see APC are very scared of this man. They know that he has the ears of the masses. They know that 90% of Nigeria youth are behind him. They know that the southeast region is locked down for him. They know he has the ability to penetrate the northern part of Nigeria and get a majority of the votes. They know that no matter the fact that Abuja is the federal capital, that he has Abuja locked down. They know that Lagos State is locked down for him. They know that even some states in the southwest are locked down for him. They also know that South, Edo State, and some other states are locked down for him. Notwithstanding who the governor is in those states. The governor of those states has nothing on him, because he has the ability to organize, to coordinate, to galvanize mass votes from these regions. So that is why APC are so much scared of him. And 2027, I want to use the word used in American politics by Donald Trump. It's gonna be too big to rig. It's going to be so massive that even APC themselves will get so tired and confused that they will not be able to rig it, because the masses will come out in number, voters will come out in number, and people will stand to defend their votes. So let's listen to him as it continues.
And we are urging this happen because we have weak institutions like INEC, which we are urging them in the coming election. We must do whatever it is to follow the rules and the regulation, starting by educational qualification for eligibility to sit for any election. We can no longer be where they are asking whether this person went to school or not. We have 1 year now to determine who went to school and who didn't go to school. We have 1 year now for people to tell us the school they attended. And when they left those schools, we don't want it to be something we go to court after election. They say it's pre-election matter. We have pre-election situation now to verify everybody who wants to contest the election in Nigeria. And we must follow that. Our commitment is about Nigeria. In all my touring and everything, we are committed to a better Nigeria, and we found all the studies that we have followed religiously, and I'm going to mention a few to tell you why it is important what we are doing here today and why we must follow it, and know that two things are critical if we are going to turn around Nigeria. We must stay united. Nigeria today is not united. We must.
You know, when it comes to the unity of Nigeria, it's quite unfortunate that I don't think it will happen anytime soon. The country is so polarized, it's so divided, it's so tribalistic, it's so divided along religious line. Nothing based on my understanding of how unity works will unite Nigeria. We are divided along tribal lines. We are divided along religious line, not even political ideology, because Nigeria politicians, we don't have, or the Nigeria political space do not have any political ideology. So our divides are not along ideology. We don't have conservative or liberal in Nigeria, like you see in the Western world. We don't have the ultra-conservative or the far left or the far right. Everybody in Nigeria is in the right. The political ideology 100% in Nigeria is towards the right. And it's towards the far right, no matter how you say it. Because we don't have a liberal society in Nigeria. And in as much as we don't have a liberal society in Nigeria, our political ideology are all to the right. So when people are working hard to ensure that their candidate go into power, it's not because of ideology. It is merely because of tribalism or religious line, or out of our selfish interest and our selfish ego. And this will not stand in 2027. Nigerians have suffered a lot. It is time for us to make a very conscious effort to ensure that we actually elect the right leader for ourselves, for our society, for our progress, and for our security.
To ensure the unity of the country, we must ensure we have competent leadership. I have followed by studies of where we have conflict, where we have strife, where there's disunity, and where there's unity, and what it brought about. Because of it, I've read several books in it, but I'm going to cite one which Professor Tommy knows very well. He took me to visit one of the best authors who wrote on conflict resolution and transformation, because we're talking about transforming our country. And that took me to read a book by Professor Nicole Fox of California University. And after reading that book, met with him alongside Professor Tommy, and after listening to him, I decided, for the interest of what happened in Rwanda, to visit Rwanda. And sat down, had the opportunity of sitting down with Paul Kagame to to listen what he did in reconciling and transforming that society, which shows me hope that it can happen here.
Of course it can happen.
If you look at what he did, it is evident that in 1995,
Yeah.
if you look at it, the GDP per capita of Rwanda is $227.
Absolutely.
Today, it is $1,100. A growth of over 500%.
Absolutely.
While our own country, in 1995, the GDP per capita of 1,225. Today, we are below 1,000. 30 years after, for the giant of Africa. We cannot continue this way.
No.
Our people are in pain.
Absolutely.
That is why we are coming to talk about how do we...
You know, according to Peter Obi, he says, no tribe, no religion buys bread cheaper than the other religion in Nigeria. Everyone suffers the same pain. Everyone suffers the same effect of bad government. The insecurity we are into currently, every tribe suffers it. So nobody is safe when the society is ruined. So we all have to come together and make this conscious decision this time.
Unify our country. Following that particular visit and the differential showing on the development of this country, I decided to go further. That took me to read another book, Growing Apart.
This is a politician that reads. Most of our politicians are not even educated, talk more of reading books. But you see, he's making conscious effort to understand how functional societies and how societies that were in room before we are able to bring out themselves from that room and forge a future that is benefiting or beneficial to all the citizens. He's reading book, he's understanding leaders of other nations that have done it. Their country were even in a worse condition than what we are currently in Nigeria, but they were able to bring themselves out from such quagmire, and now they are prospering, and they are now one of the prosperous society we have. So this is what a leader does. A leader that has the intention of improving the lives of his people. This is what they do. They read, they research, they ask questions, they interrogate, they ask questions to understand how things happen.
Which is a book about Indonesia and Nigeria. Indonesia and Nigeria have the same similarity in population, high population, cultural, economic structure, everything. However, after reading that book, I decided I'm going to take a tour of the United States to meet with Professor Lewis personally. When I sat down with him, what he told me was more revealing and shocking than what I read in the book. And I decided to take a trip to Indonesia to see what they did. That took me to meet with the Minister of Planning of Indonesia, Minister of Education, Minister of Small Business, Minister of Small Villages, Minister of Health. I met the Vice President and the most celebrated president in Indonesia, Joko Widodo, to know what they did. When you do at all this, one thing is very clear.
Absolutely.
Unity.
It matters a lot.
And competent leadership.
Yeah.
Unity
Yeah.
and competent leadership.
Because
And if you follow what they've been able to do, today Indonesia is a commendable success.
absolutely.
Where they've moved now, they've become one of the over 1 trillion economy.
Dollar economy, yes.
Southeast Asia, about 1.4 today.
Can you imagine?
The biggest economy in Southeast Asia with per capita of $5,300.
That's about 500 to 600% more than what Nigeria
Again, lamentably,
per capita is.
today our GDP have halved from what it was 10 years ago.
This is very painful.
And below 1,000 per capita.
Yeah.
What did they do differently? Competent leadership and unity have shown what you can do. In all the studies, like I said, following that, you've listened where somebody who won a Nobel Peace Prize said that Nigeria knows what to do to prosper.
I do say it. I always say it.
2024 Nobel Peace Prize winner in economics, said Nigeria knows what to do to prosper.
But will not do it.
Professor James Robinson of Chicago University. I spent 3 hours with him in Chicago University to listen about what he has to say. It all boils down to unity, competent leadership that have capacity, have commitment and compassion to change the socio-economic of the country. That is what we are lacking. And that's what we need to change. What they did is not rocket science. It can be done here and we'll get the same result. It is not rocket science. I've studied it, I've followed it all over. One thing that is common about all these leaders is that they build consensus of their people. And how did they do it? By...
So guys, Peter Obi, I think, is the man to watch out for in this 2027 presidential election. And the speech is a little bit long. I might not be able to finish it now, but definitely there will be a part 2 to this, because we need to listen to this, and we need to make sure that we understand the momentum he's coming out with in 2027. We need to understand his trajectory, where he's headed to. We need to understand the political ideology, if he has any this time. We need to understand what his manifesto will look like, and we need to understand what we should be expecting from him as this political journey continues. If I'm to say, Peter Obi is a power to be reckoned with. Let's look at 1 or 2 comments from the comment section and see how people are actually taking this. This is very embarrassing indeed. Tinubu made a mess of the office of Nigeria president. Drug case is one side. Forged certificate is another side. FBI file on the another side. Age falsification, one side. Dual citizenship, one side. Using the claim Donald Duke child photo. Only one person. Yet, normal person being normal human being will argue he is qualified and fit for such exalted position. No, he was not. Part of the reason we are disgraced and called a disgraced nation by the United States of America. Peter Obi is actually the best candidate for presidency in 2027. But in Nigeria, tribalism, just as I said, religious, you see, and corruption will always prevail. Till Nigeria youth are able to defeat this corrupt system that always divides us, Nigeria will continue to be a joke of a country. I think the tweet is long. This one says, breaking news. Breaking. Peter Obi to African Democratic Congress. Here we go. Deal in place. After exclusive story revealed 2 months ago, Peter Obi joined ADC on a permanent deal from LP. No buyback options clue, and 100% of salary covered. The Anambra man will not be back to LP anytime. Good. If INEC remains unreformed, we may all be wasting our time in 2027. For those that don't know what INEC means, INEC is the electoral empire in Nigeria. Except if the opposition is prepared to galvanize the entire country to be on the street after the election to ensure no foul play. This one says, I present to Nigeria PO. So the comment has been good so far. Yes, INEC needs to be confirmed. INEC needs to confirm if Harvard offers market to market as a course, or if anyone who claims he washed an airline toilet has certificate to do so. As per those who graduated with first class in accounting from Chicago State University, we confirmed, I think this one is actually trying to antagonize what Peter Obi says. We confirmed their diploma. Southeast politicians have made a very good decision today for Nigeria. I can confidently say Peter Obi is going to pick ADC presidential ticket. And we in PDP are going to support him like we did in 2023. Anything Tinubu, Mr. Drug Lord, we are ready for him. My loyalty is strictly to PO, regardless of the party ticket. PO means Peter Obi. If he runs, I follow. For every Nigerian suffering under this administration, unite now to force PBAT means President Bola Ahmed Tinubu out in 2023. Only this alliance can break APC hold. So my people, we are seeing that the comments are positive. People are really happy. People are really energized seeing Peter Obi on the tickets. And I think if Peter Obi clinch the presidential, if he finally becomes the presidential flag bearer of ADC, I think Tinubu will actually have the fight of his life. I don't know how it will turn out, but I'm very much bullish on this, and I hope the better person wins. So please, if you are new to my channel, please click on the subscribe button, share this video, and like. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.